I've been considering starting a series titled Another Damn Day, Another Damn Fool, because each morning as I rise up and look out to the east where the sun may rise, I think to myself, today I'm about to run into another damn fool. Maybe not in the public square, but definitely online. And so here we are with another damn fool. Now, I have not even looked into this video, but just from the title itself, I know what type of activities we're about to get into today. And from that look in his eyes, he is indeed on idiot time. So let's go ahead and get into this.
I really had enough of this whole life, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Whoa. Okay, I was not damn. This might be a different type of video. This might does somebody know the hotline? If you know the hotline I'm talking about. If somebody knows the hotline or the 51s and the other 50, if you know anybody who may be able to help this brother, did y'all hear the first sentence that came up out of his mouth?
I really had enough of this whole life, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Every white man, woman, and child alive on this planet. All of you motherfuckers need to die. All of you do. We need to go for a global recessive genetic.
Excuse me?
This whole life, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Every white man, woman, and child alive on this planet.
Okay, hold up. Now, why every child though? Like, why you got to bring the babies into it? Maybe you done had some experiences in your life where a white man or a white woman did you dirty, did you wrong. The likelihood is that you probably have more people who look like you that did you wrong, according to proximity, right? But here's the thing. Why the babies though? Like, why the child? But I think you do explain that in the second half of this video. So let me go ahead and let you do whatever it is that you were doing.
All of you motherfuckers need to die. All of you do. We need to go for a global recessive genetic purge by any means necessary. Every last one of you white man, woman, and child on this planet need to die.
You see, half the time I'm watching the video, I think to myself, this got to be satire. Folks, this is not satire. This is a man on the edge of life. Look, what did he say?
I really had enough of this whole life.
I really had enough of this whole life. And then he proclaims to basically throw an FU to every white man, every white woman, and damn it, every white child. That includes the infants, the babies, the ones who just got here, pure and precious and alien-esque looking as can be. F them too. That's what he said. We need to have a what? This is little mustache man talk right here. We need to eradicate them to get rid of an entire group of humans off the basis of skin. See, when I tell y'all just how dangerous it is when you start to allow for any sort of bigotry, racism, whatever it is, to be allowed, to be justified because it's against somebody that you don't believe is, I guess, worthy of your defense. This is what it turns into. And I promise y'all right now, this is just getting started. All it takes is for one psychopath on the edge, like this dude right here. All it takes is for one to get shit really started, if you know what I mean. And I'm not for any of this, okay? I'm not for black against white, white against black. I'm not for any of it. Black on Asia, white on it. I don't like any of it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't stand for it. Again, I am a fan of race jokes and things of that nature. But when it starts getting into this sphere, absolutely the hell not. And in the same way I speak in reality, in real life, towards these sorts of temperaments, these sort of attitudes, and these sorts of mentalities, when I see folks who are doing it to somebody who looks like myself, I'm going to do so for anybody else. Because when it's all said and done, we are the human family. But this dude right here wants the eradication, the extermination, the begonnedness of an entire group of people. This is what it looks like when you allow for racism to pervade. And you have these sort of, I guess, These whacked out ideas, these lies that say that it is impossible to be bigoted or to be racist towards a specific group of people because they're the quote unquote people in power. What power? Like, if we want to talk about power, okay, fantastic. What power does the average white man or white woman have in your life? Like, what power do they actually have? What power does a white baby have in your life? What are they controlling in your everyday circumstance situation? What do they control in your finances to get you this broke, dusty, and disgusting? What influence or power do they have in your life to get you this angry, miserable? What power do they have over you to get hooked on whatever type of drug that you are likely on? It seems that you must be on something, and you probably have been for a very long time. What power do they have to get you in a place where you now are, where you are resentful, you're miserable, and you hate your own life? What power do they have to get you there? Because the last time I checked, it is your own decisions that led you to the place that you are. Sure, they might have been childhood trauma. They might have been things that happened, through your adolescent years or through your youngest toddler years, infancy, etc. But at this point, as a whole entire grown man, which I assume that you are, allegedly, what leads you to a place where you're like this? And to that I say, it's your choices. It's the things that you have or have not done within your life. So I'm going to give you the mic one more time to really just spew this hatred up off your chest. But folks, this is what I tried to explain. I'm so glad that I have this new software I'm using, and, I've really dialed in so I can show things in real time. Back in the day in my videos, I used to just try to explain the stories, but now I get to engage and interact with these sorts of things. When I'm talking about this quote unquote anti-white racism, it is, as the young folks say nowadays, it's diabolical. It is diabolical. It is menacing. It is evil. It is outright evil. Imagine saying this about any group of people in 2025, the year of our Lord 2025. Imagine saying this about any other group of people. What sort of response do you think that would get? But instead, I already know that there's going to be people in support of this. There's going to be people watching this agreeing. And on top of that, most importantly, it's not going to get scrutinized in the way that I'm currently doing in this format, that people are just going to let this slide. There are folks who look just like him who are going to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe he has a point, or they don't agree. Maybe they call themselves Christians or whatever, right? But when it's time to speak up, when it's time to do something, when it's time to check this sort of hatred, dangerous rhetoric, they're nowhere to be seen, heard, or found. So I'm going to let him continue, but damn. That was a lot more than I was expecting. I just say that.
I really had enough of this whole life, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Fuck every white man, woman, and child alive on this planet. All of you motherfuckers need to die. All of you do. We need to go for a global, recessive genetic purge by any means necessary. Every last one of you white man, woman, and child on this planet need to die.
This is the dude who be in your comment section with some sort of weird avatar of like the black deity, or, the black man holding an ankh or whatever the hell it is, and they're talking about the quasi realm where the black man is actually created in astro dust and genetically produced out of the atmosphere, whereas the white man was created by Yakub in a lab. Like, this is what type of energy and type of time and this is really on. That's what I'm getting from this dude right here. He is on some Yakub type of timing, or the opposite, I guess, right? He would have been in opposition to Yakub creating this other race. This guy right here is giving me that sort of energy. He is in the astral quasi projectile in the atmosphere, yet he ain't got no job and he ain't got no place to stay, for real. That's insane. It's always the most brokest, the most dustiest of dust mites, disgustiest of scus mites that find themselves with all of this, true wisdom, hidden information, hidden knowledge, hidden colors. Tariq Nasheed. It's always them who end up being the most miserable, and their lives are basically projections of that bitterness and resentment. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is jealousy. Because he'll look to white folks and say, why is some of them doing so well? Not even seeing the 80% who are not thriving. He'll see maybe the 20% who are and think to himself, why them and not me? It must be because, we need to eradicate them. It is a system of white supremacy. No, my friend. It is the fact that you need to get off your ass if you want something to happen for you, as opposed to being a damn professional victim all of your life. Period. That's what this is about. This is insane, bro. You need help. You need help. Like, actually, you need help. And there's a lot of these type of trolls in my messages on TikTok, on X, sometimes on YouTube. And all I think to myself is, you need help. You need mental. And I'm not the one to give it to you. I'm just going to warn you, I'm not the one to give it to you. But you need to do something to that damn whacked out psyche of yours, because something's off. It's always in the eyes, chica. It's always in the eyes. This dude is gone. He needs a friend, a dog, a chia pet, a pet rock, anything, damn it. My goodness. So, yeah, folks, I tell you all the time, if we just allow this to happen, it's going to happen to us again. I promise y'all. You want the race war to start? Keep picking on white folks. I read a quote today and it really hit me in the gut. It said that, isn't it crazy how, for the last several decades or whatever, white folks have been trying to teach their kids to be colorblind while everybody else has been teaching their kids to hate white folks? Yeah, I'm on that type of timing today. I'm on Mr. Sellout timing today. I'm on Uncle today. I'm on that time right now. Minstrel time. Yeah, all of that. Because enough is enough. And if nobody calls it out, especially those of us whose voices will actually be heard, and it's not going to be, oh, well, look at this white man trying to blah, blah. No. I'm a melanated brother, and I'm going to say it exactly how it is. This right here is disgusting mentality, behavior, and it is a victim complex. And he needs to find his way up out of that. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Till the next time, peace. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there. Or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.